Ahead on 12 News, a sale that could bring a jobs boost to Brooklyn Park. But first, covering the biggest March snowstorm in years.
I'm telling you, you are an angel coming today.
From a snow angel in Brooklyn Center to a warning about your windshield. 12 News starts right now.
This winter is proving to be quite popular for snow lovers.
And for those of you ready for spring, hopefully you survived the largest March snowfall in years. The official tally here in the northwest suburbs is 8.9 inches. That would be the largest March snowfall in this neck of the woods since 2007, when 15+ inches fell. And so far this winter, we've received 47 inches of snow, and don't be surprised if we get more. The average for the season is 52 inches. And all the snow has caused some scheduling headaches. School and evening activities were canceled in most area school districts, and a couple local girls basketball playoff games were also postponed. The Osseo Centennial and Champlain Park Roseville section games were rescheduled for Wednesday night. And while some people stayed at home to avoid driving in the snow, volunteers in Brooklyn Center braved the elements to make special deliveries.
Renee Bonneau shows you how dedication keeps SEEP's Meals on Wheels program rolling through a snowstorm.
In the SEEP kitchen in Brooklyn Center, Betsy Kenny bags Meals on Wheels lunches like clockwork.
I'm packaging and heating meals to give to the clients.
But amidst the flurry of activity in here, nonstop flurries out here threaten to derail today's deliveries.
It's amazing. Nobody called in. Everybody seems to be okay with driving. A lot of people have good cars. They're not afraid of snow.
I like to help people have the time, and they just need help.
Volunteers like Barb Saunders and her daughter Lori won't let the weather stop them.
You know that you're doing something for someone that isn't able to get out and do it for themselves or cook for themselves.
Barb has been delivering for Meals on Wheels for more than 25 years.
Yeah, enjoy.
She rarely calls in and does so only when she's sick. At 82, Barb is no spring chicken, but she handles the winter like a champ.
I'm telling you, you are an angel coming today.
And her dedication does not go unnoticed.
I certainly didn't expect it today. I am just so surprised.
A low spot.
Although grateful for their commitment, SEEP tells its volunteers not to deliver if a walkway is too icy or the snow is too high.
Over the last 3 weeks, drivers have been dropping off these blizzard boxes that contain 2 emergency meals just in case the drivers couldn't make it out on a day like today.
But thanks to Barb's devotion, her clients can save the emergency backup for another day.
I tell you, she's wonderful.
In Brooklyn Center, Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
And some meal delivery services were canceled today due to the weather, including Northwest Suburban Dinner at Your Door, based in Crystal. Well, a lot of cars looked like this Tuesday, buried under several inches of snow and requiring a bit of work to get them all scraped off and cleared enough to drive.
I do try to keep it clear. I try to start the car a little bit earlier just to kind of defrost it a little bit and heat it up, especially driving, on these icy days.
And did you know it's actually the law that you must completely clear your windshield and the 2 front side windows in order to drive?
I feel like it's common sense, but you see a lot of people don't do that. We really want to encourage people to take the extra time to warm up your car, get the fog off the windows, get the snow off the windows, just so you can make sure you can see, not only for your own safety, but for the safety of everybody else on the road too.
And listen to this, you can be pulled over and ticketed $118 in Hennepin County for not properly clearing your car before driving.
Brooklyn Park is taking another step to get residents more connected with each other. A campaign called Be Part of It will focus on the city's image, improve connections with community members, and provide services for youth. A full-time neighborhood specialist and 2 part-time outreach workers will be hired. Supporters say they're trying to bring major improvements to the community, but there are also questions about the cost.
It's easy to simply do the work that police always do. Go out and arrest people. All right, that's the expectation. But that's not transformational, that's not enough.
Unless I can get a report in September or October stating this is everything that's been done, these are the successes, and this is actually working, you know, it'll be difficult to say today that I can support this for next year for the money.
Council approved it unanimously, though. The cost is about $300,000, but supporters say it could help boost the economic vitality of Brooklyn Park.
There are two significant job stories today. One involves job gains reported by the state. Minnesota employers added more than 12,000 jobs in January. The State Department of Employment and Economic Development now says Minnesota has recovered 90% of the jobs lost during the Great Recession. In fact, all 11 sectors of Minnesota's job market posted year-over-year gains for the first time since 2000. Meantime, a major announcement involving a large medical products company moving into Brooklyn Park. Baxter International, the world's largest manufacturer of hospital supplies, has acquired an unused manufacturing site on Winnetka Avenue. The site used to be Genmab, which closed after just 2 years of operations. Genmab received $10 million for the property. They bought the property in 2008 for $240 million.
Calling it an historic event, Brooklyn Park Fire Chief Ken Perlman introduced 3 new full-time firefighters in his department. The new full-time hires will take on the role of battalion chief. It's a supervisory position that will assist Brooklyn Park's part-time duty crew firefighters, that is. The new organizational structure is designed to provide more training and better guidance. It's a role Rob Miller embraces.
I love the fact that I get an opportunity to be in this new position, to work for this city, to work for this fire department. It's the best fire department that I know.
All 3 hires worked part-time with the fire department. Mike Maurer previously spent nearly 30 years with the Postal Service, and Dan Smith worked full-time at Brooklyn Park's Community Activity Center. Coming up, a 911 response that's getting even quicker thanks to new technology.
That's coming up next. And later in sports, a standout hockey player from Plymouth receives a big award.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast.
In an emergency, it's important for first responders to not only know where they're going, but to get there fast.
That's why North Memorial Medical Center recently upgraded the infrastructure at its dispatch center to support what's called Next Generation 911. In today's Health Check, Elaine Cleveland shows us how advances in technology can aid emergency response.
When a call comes in to 911,
700-733,
it's up to the dispatcher to provide pre-arrival instructions to the 911 caller.
How to deliver a baby, how to stop bleeding, how to do CPR.
524, try it again, you're in.
Like driving Apollo.
And ensure that an ambulance responds quickly to the emergency situation.
We're on our way.
Seconds are very critical.
A quick response could mean the difference between a normal life and a difficult alternative.
Years ago, when somebody would have a stroke, they would end up being paralyzed on one side. Nowadays, we can actually get them into a hospital very quickly and get that clot opened up and having people walk back out of the hospital very quickly.
According to Cliff Deasy,
it's saving us time.
It's just another day in the life at the North Memorial Dispatch Center in Brooklyn Center.
We dispatch for about 20% of the state of Minnesota.
But in the past year,
possible second patient.
Deasy says North Memorial has upgraded its technology to make the dispatchers' lives easier.
Yep, they're aware. Thank you.
It's called Next Generation 911.
Next Gen is switching us over from the old copper lines, which was created back in the 70s, and putting us into the internet protocol, the high transfer of data.
In other words, dispatchers can now more accurately pinpoint the caller's location. Deasy says it makes for faster ambulance response times.
Response times decrease, and the reason is that the validation of the address is so important to make sure that we're sending that ambulance to the correct spot.
It's a big step in an evolving technology for emergency response.
Technology is there. To be able to speed it into different places is what's going to matter.
In Brooklyn Center, Elaine Cleveland, 12 News.
North Memorial is one of about 20 communication centers in Minnesota to receive the infrastructure upgrade. When Next Generation 911 is fully developed, 911 callers will be able to send texts, photos, and videos to dispatch centers from their mobile phones. Well, coming up, why there is no day like snow day at area schools.
But first in sports, nothing will slow these guys down. The boys hockey teams at Wayzata and Breck are ready to hit the ice at state. John Jacobson has tournament previews up next.
Well, if you love hockey, you gotta love this. The big hockey tournament's getting underway on Wednesday.
Wait all year for this, some people do.
Right. Big schools playing on Thursday, and the state boys hockey tournament does face off Wednesday with the Class A quarterfinals. Well, two local Class AA players received big individual honors today. Benilde St. Margaret's senior, number 12, Grant Bessie, has been named the Star Tribune's Metro Player of the Year for boys hockey. The Plymouth native led the Red Knights in goals with 48 and is 5th all-time in goals scored among Minnesota high school players. Bessie's Red Knights lost to Wayzata in the Section 6 AA final. He'll play for the University of Wisconsin next season. Wayzata goalie Aaron Dingman was also named first-team All-Metro by the Star Tribune. Dingman was outstanding this season, especially in the section tournament. He won 17 games and carries a goals against average of 1.81 into the state tournament, while saving 93% of the shots he's faced. Dan Lebowski of Benilde St. Margaret's and T.J. Rue of Totino Grace earned third-team All-Metro honors. Aaron Dingman's season continues this week as his Wayzata Trojans are set to make their third-ever appearance in the state tournament. Jay Wilcox has their story.
Even in a school filled with athletic success, it's still a big deal to make the state boys hockey tournament, especially when trips to St. Paul have been hard to come by.
You know, it's the first trip back to the state tournament since 2004, and before that was 1954, so everyone on the squad, all the coaches, everyone involved in the program and the school is pretty excited to get back to the X and show the state what we got.
You know, this is one of our dreams. Me personally, since I was a little kid, Mike, growing up, watching the varsity team play all the time. Didn't really get to see him much in the state tournament as a kid, and now that we get to be here, it's really a dream come true.
This young Wayzata team had an interesting regular season, playing well enough to ascend to number 1 in the state rankings in January, but losing 5 of 7 games in one stretch late in the season. What you didn't find during that time, panic or finger pointing.
Yeah, no, we're a pretty cohesive group, so we stayed together through thick and thin throughout the season, and we know in the games that we did lose that we were just a couple bounces here and there away most of the time.
The Trojans are the 4th seed for the AA tournament, and they meet number 5 seed Centennial in the quarterfinals.
Actually, it's ironic that in 2004 we got knocked out of the state tournament by Centennial. So I do remember that. It was a 3-0 game, and it'll be fun to play them again and get revenge. We know they're a great defensive team. They got a great goalie. They got some shifty and skilled forwards. We know it's going to be a great game.
After the tough road they faced to get here, Wayzata's ready for anything at state. Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
Wayzata and Centennial play the final game of the first day of the Class AA tournament Thursday at 8 p.m. The Breck boys hockey team is back at the state Class A tournament for the 5th year in a row. Jason Malillo visited the Mustangs and has this report.
The Breck hockey team was an unfinished puzzle early in the season.
You know, we lost 15 seniors off a real talented team last year.
But the pieces have fit together nicely. Breck rolled through its section tournament, and now the Mustangs get a crack at their 5th state title since 2000.
This team isn't taking it for granted as much as last year, because I think every single person on the team last year had already been to the state tournament. And so this year it's only 4 of us who have been there, and so, you know, everyone's just a lot more excited.
This is not the most talented Breck team in the last 5 years, according to head coach Les Larson, but it might be the most close-knit group Larson has coached.
It's really amazing when you have a winning tradition, a winning program, how the younger guys all of a sudden realize it's their turn and they step in. And I can tell you this, that this is probably the best group of guys we've had in 5 years.
What do you mean by that?
Well, not the most talented, but the most together. There's no quit in these guys.
The Mustangs played a very challenging non-conference schedule this winter. They beat 2 of the teams in the Class AA field of the state tournament and 2 in the Class A field. Skating against competition like that should be a benefit at state.
Going into the Swans Cup earlier this year, we played St. Thomas, but we had really good games against 2 AA teams, and one who's actually in the state tournament, Duluth East. And having known that we can play with teams of that caliber really gives us confidence going into games like against Hermantown and even St. Thomas, because we've competed with teams similar to teams that they've competed with throughout the season, and that's a little reassuring.
If Breck can get back to the state title game, they might get another chance to play St. Thomas Academy. The Cadets beat the Mustangs twice this winter, both one-goal games. Jason Malillo, 12 Sports.
Breck and Marshall will kick off the state Class A tournament. The puck drops at 11 o'clock Wednesday morning in St. Paul. And one final note, Osseo and Champlin Park, their 5-4A girls basketball semifinal game scheduled for Tuesday night, postponed one night to Wednesday. Everything else, though, scheduled for playoffs on for tonight, Tuesday.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, an Osseo Junior High student's smooth ride through the snow.
The next best thing to a one-horse open sleigh when we come back. Well, finally, a lot of students praying for a snow day got their wish.
Sonia Goen shows us what some students did with their surprise day off.
Mike and Alex, even though school is canceled for most students, they showed up anyway. And instead of being inside the classroom, they're outside doing this, making the most of their snow day. With more than 8 inches of snow on the ground, who could resist sliding down a hill?
I was really surprised. My husband called from work and said, "You guys are a bunch of wimps." So yeah, no, it's fun. It's just a good day to just spend time with the kids.
It looked like so much fun, I decided to give it a try. To say students were happy about their sudden day off would be putting it mildly. This is the text I got from my daughter when she heard Wayzata High School was closed. She wasn't the only one excited. Noah Copen was spinning his wheels when he heard Osseo Junior High was closed.
I woke up at 7:25 this morning, the time I should be at the bus stop, and I didn't know that we didn't have school, so I started scrambling.
It didn't take long for Noah to go cruising on his bike. It's equipped with special tires.
It's really smooth. Since you have so much tire volume, it floats over the snow really easy.
Not everyone wanted to play outside on their day off. We found some students playing basketball at Zanewood Rec Center in Brooklyn Park.
Come to the gym and work out, get better, extra day to practice.
Enjoying the snow, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
And here's what parents want to hear. We did find that some students spent time catching up on homework. Several libraries were actually packed with kids, Sonia tells us. And just in case you're wondering, 27 days until the ball drops at Target Field. Oh, so it's insight.
I remember snow days. We would, hope for those. Not enough of them.
It's a gift.
Yeah, right.
That's it for us. Thanks for joining us.
See you tomorrow.